That's it. Yeah. Yeah, no, we are recording. So I'll just give you a little bit about my background, because I've been with the Juice Plus company for 16 years, and my background is as a health and beauty therapist. So when I was first invited along to a talk, it made sense. I went along, didn't really know what I was going to, except it was something related to health, and that's what I was very passionate about. So I sat in that meeting, and there was a doctor talking, and he put some slides up and just showed the benefits of the Juice Plus products. And this was scientific evidence. So it was not just sort of a testimonial or somebody's, their own personal benefits. This was hard scientific facts. And that's what really, really spoke to me, because that slide showed that the levels of antioxidants were increased absolutely massively after taking Juice Plus for 28 days. And for me as a therapist, it was like, that was the bit I felt that was missing from my practice. I could help people, and most of my clients were ladies, so they were coming to me with their health and beauty goals, and I could do a certain amount by helping from the outside. But really, I knew that that true health and vitality really does shine through from what we put inside our bodies. So listening and hearing about the Juice Plus products absolutely made the most perfect sense to me, because this was a way of making sure that my clients could access this huge variety of fruits and vegetables on a daily, consistent basis. And I think most of us, we know what we should be doing, but down to sort of time constraints and things like that, we don't always manage to do what we know we should do on that daily basis. So for me, this was just like, wow, this is what my clients need. This is what I need. I was excited at the opportunity to start taking the products. And within a very short period of time, I noticed a big difference in, I can't say I was ill, but I had lots of little health challenges, and these things just happened to clear up. So, and interestingly, it was my clients that started to say to me, Michelle, what have you done? Your skin, what are you doing differently? And the only thing that I was doing differently was adding Juice Plus capsules to my diet. So it made sense to me, and it was something that was very easy for me to recommend to other people. And then the business side of it, as a busy health and beauty therapist, and I did actually love what I was doing, but what I didn't have was time freedom. And as I got more and more involved with the business, that's what I saw. It was the freedom that this business can give you. And that's what we're going to talk a little bit more about. So I'm now going to introduce our presenter for this evening, and it is my absolute pleasure to introduce Howard Frisch to you, because Howard is not only a member of the team, a very valid member of the team who has now got a growing team of his own, but he's a close personal friend. But that's only happened through the business. I mean, Howard came in and we were strangers, but we became friends, and now, we're very close family friends, and we speak probably every day, so every other day, if not every day. And, Howard is a very valid member of the team. So he is now going to share with you our presentation for this evening. So I'm going to hand over to Howard, just he can tell you his story, and I'll get the slides up that we're going to share with you this evening.
Thanks very much, Michelle, and I'd like to thank you for those kind words, and also I'd like to add my warm welcome to Michelle's, to everybody here this evening, but especially those people who are guests and are looking at Juice Plus maybe for the first time, or those people who are just curious as to what it is that we do. Oh, so I'm not quite sure what that was, but it's probably Gordon Wilkie's hand. But we will begin the slides in just a second. My story is that I actually first came across Juice Plus a long time ago, when it was actually launched in 1993, in September 1993, and a bit like Michelle, it just made sense to me. The fact that, yes, I had an awareness of my own personal health, but realized I was coming up short often as not with regard to my own intake of raw, fresh fruit and vegetables on a daily basis. And Juice Plus just filled in the gaps perfectly. The timing wasn't exactly perfect for me at that particular time. And when I was reacquainted with the Juice Plus, late in 2013, the timing really couldn't have been better for a number of reasons. Firstly, I had just signed up to a major cycling event in the Alps the following July, and I knew that the quality of the nutrition within the Juice Plus capsules would underpin the training that I was going to have to be undertaking. As far as the business is concerned, well, I'll come back to that a little bit later, but it's my pleasure now to actually sort of run you through a little bit about three things here. First of all, a little bit about the company, the history behind it, a little bit about how we actually derive an income. We can actually generate an income from the Juice Plus business. And then, of course, the business is absolutely meaningless without the product range that we have. And it's going to be my pleasure to actually explain that in a little bit more detail. So we've had the welcome. Let's move on with the next slide. Over to you.
Yeah, hold on. It's not happening. Okay.
Here we go. So Juice Plus really is essentially a low-cost franchise. Now, when I started my own business, I became a limited entity back in 2002. I had to invest £30,000 of my own hard-earned cash, and that was only half of it. I had a friend of mine who matched my investment. And when I saw that with Juice Plus, you could basically become a partner with an established company with an established product range for the princely sum of £50, that really grabbed my attention, because I just realized that there was virtually no risk at all. And when I found that my £30,000 way back then, that bought me a load of stock. I realized I didn't need any stock when I became a Juice Plus franchise partner. And that was really, really good news to me, because that again minimized the risk completely. So let's move to the next slide. Company's history, we're nearly 50 years old. In a couple of years, the company will be 50 years old, founded in Memphis in Tennessee. And in that time, the company has been innovative in a number of product ranges, starting with smoke detectors when they were something about the size of a coffee table as opposed to about the size of an ashtray now and fit in your loft. They pioneered smoke detection, I believe, to about $150 marketplace way back then. They then moved into environmental products in the 1980s, water and air filtration, and it wasn't until, as I said earlier, 1993 that Juice Plus became part of the product range, and now it is the exclusive product range and an evolving one. And if we move on, company's expanding over $13 billion in 47 years. And last year, 2017 was the largest turnover in the history of Juice Plus, something like $800 million, I believe. And it's predicted that by 2020, we will be a $1 billion a year company. Next slide, please. And the man himself, Jay Martin, he was the guy who founded the company way back in 1970, a former school teacher. And look at that mission statement that he actually conceived. And his aim is to build a solid and long-lasting company that helps as many people realize their dreams as possible. And that happens at a number of levels. It happens as far as the products are concerned, for people to actually improve the quality of their health and their lifestyle through the products, and also giving absolutely anybody the opportunity. It is not gender specific, it is not race specific, not creed specific at all. Absolutely anybody from any background at all, the opportunity to build a business as big as they want. Something that wraps around the other things that they do in their lives. And that is one of the great things about this business, is its flexibility. It really is something that you can develop as big or as small as you want. It is entirely up to you in terms of how you actually wish to develop it alongside your lifestyle. Next slide, please. So when building one's business, we tend to obviously think about our local contacts, the people that we know. But over the last, 10, 15 years, we've seen a phenomenon. It started with the internet and has now evolved into social media, whereby we can actually sort of touch hundreds, if not thousands of people in an instant with a post. Whereas before, back in the day in 1993, if you were to speak to 100 people, you'd have to pick up the telephone 100 times and probably dial a number rather than actually push a button even. Nowadays, as I say, you can touch hundreds, if not thousands of people almost instantly. And the Juice Plus marketplace has expanded now to 28 countries around the world. When I first came across it, it was literally active in just 4, in the USA, Canada, Britain, and Ireland. But now, as you can see, I was going to say conquered Europe. It's probably not the right expression, but we're certainly very widespread throughout Europe, into Asia, the Far East, and Australasia as well. And in fact, in January last year, the company launched in the United Arab Emirates in Dubai, and that really is seen as a springboard into the key markets and the very large markets of India and China, where there are an awful lot of people who are concerned about their health, and a great many people who are looking for secondary or alternative ways of actually deriving an income in an increasingly uncertain economic climate in which we live. So if we move to the next slide. So how do we make money? And this is a very brief sort of synopsis of what we have here. Initially, what we look to do is we simply share what we enjoy ourselves with the people that we know. And as such, there will be people who wish to join us on that journey, that they may see the opportunity to improve the quality of their health. And as such, we create happy customers. And from that, we can derive a retail profit of between 10 and 20%. And those people, if they derive a benefit themselves, well, what do we do with good news? We tend to share it with people, don't we? If we see a good film, we read a good book, we go to a good restaurant, we share good news with people. And similarly, if we actually use something around the house, we use a product ourselves, we share it. So that is what happens with Juice Plus. Juice Plus is no different in that regard. We share it, or people will share the good news with others, and as such, we get paid for those recommendations. And it may be that some of those people who have originally been customers might think, well, you know what, I know people also who can derive the same benefits that I have. And as such, that there may be customers who indeed wish to join you and become teammates. And that basically is the primeval stage of actually building a team. And from that, one can actually access another form of income, and that is in the form of a network commission. Really what happens is people sometimes believe, understandably initially, that this is a sales business. Not really. The key word is the first word of that fourth line. It is teach. It's a teaching business. If somebody has good communication skills and is able to transmit those skills to a team and teach them to do exactly the same thing, then that is when the really exciting money can be actually accessed in the form of a business bonus that the company will pay. Because the company recognizes that as a network develops, they would not actually be able to, or they would not have had those outlets, they would not have had those customers without you instigating that process in the first place. And as such, you are paid essentially a royalty for whatever that network actually generates over time. And the exciting thing is, and again, as I alluded to earlier, is that network can be as large as you want to make it. It really can. There is absolutely no limit. And as such, with the power of social media and modern communications now, this is something that is happening with certainly a lot of people, and certainly the younger generation from which I'm learning. They're able to do this really very fast using the modern tools that are at their disposal. We move to the next slide, please. So it's an exciting company. It's an exciting business. And we are really, really, absolutely, tremendously excited to be a part of it. But so much from me. Let's hear from somebody who, again, I've got to know over the last 3 or 4 years, and I'm very privileged to call Paula Wilkinson a personal friend. Paula, would you like to unmute yourself and tell us your story as to why you are so excited about the Juice Plus business and what perhaps got you involved in the first place?
Hi there, Howard. Can you see me and hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Okay, sorry. I'm on my phone because you should be able to see me, but unfortunately I'm on my phone. I don't know why it's not working. Okay, am I okay to just talk?
Yes, Paula, we can see you.
Okay, lovely. Okay. Well, lovely to see you all on the call tonight, and I hope everyone's enjoying it. My name's Paula Wilkinson, and my background is in hair and beauty. When I first got introduced to Juice Plus, I knew absolutely nothing about it, and I went to an event completely blind to it. Like Michelle, as soon as I heard about the products and the science behind it, I was just like, when can I start taking this stuff? I just couldn't wait to get started. It just made perfect sense to me. And then when I heard the business model, the business opportunity, like Howard's just done a great job of explaining, I was just like, I just couldn't believe my ears. I was from traditional business owner, of ploughing tens of thousands of pounds into a business, having all the overheads, all of the staff rates, everything, and all the stress and worries and risks and everything that goes with it. After my business had come to an end due to the lease finishing, I was at that time when I was looking for something, and when I saw that I could get a business with no overheads, no risks, no no offer, no overheads basically, and not tens of thousands of pounds to put in, basically £50. I just couldn't wait to get started. But the main thing that attracted me was the freedom. I absolutely love freedom, and this business allows you to have as much freedom as you want. You can work from wherever you want, and you can work whenever you want. So it allows me to have a business that I can be always there for my young daughter Gemma, and yeah, I absolutely love it. I love what the products have done to my health and my family's health, my increased energy. Haven't had a day sick in nearly 4 years, none of us, and I'll be forever grateful for the health results that I get. But the business, every day I wake up more and more excited than the day before, and the company is just amazing.
Fabulous stuff. Thank you so much, Paula, for that. That really comes from the heart, and as I say, you're somebody who's making great strides within the Juice Plus business, and look forward to seeing you again very soon. But as Paula alluded to, the business is really but nothing without the products behind it, and I will now give you a brief overview as to actually what we have. Now, if you look right dead in the center of the screen, you'll see 3 plastic pots: a green one, a red one, and a purple one. Now, when we started way back in 1993, we just had the green and red capsules, which were the vegetable and the fruit capsules. And again, it simply filled the gap between what we should be eating and what we normally eat on a day-to-day basis. And there you had the rudiments, the phytonutrients, the living enzymes, the minerals and vitamins of 17 different fruits and vegetables going directly into your bloodstream. And what I really liked about this was the fact that because it's a natural product, your body recognizes it. And as such, 98% of what's in the capsules goes direct into your bloodstream. The same cannot be said for a number of isolated vitamin supplements. Berocca is one we always refer to, is one that you see widely available. It's very heavily marketed. But typically if you take Berocca, watch what happens to your wee. It goes a very, very strange color. And that is because your body is not absorbing it, or not absorbing very much of it, and the rest very obviously goes out with the waste. So that is why Juice Plus is as effective as it is. And when I reconnected with the Juice Plus company after 20 odd years, I figured that there were 1 or 2 more products, and we can see 1 or 2 others. First of all, they added berries to the fruit and veg, which meant that from 17 you have 29 fruits, vegetables, and berries going into your bloodstream every single day. Now, we've all heard of 5 a day, and we all probably found out last year that it should be 10 a day. Now, until such time as somebody says you need 30 a day, I think Juice Plus is actually going to fill the gaps in as far as I'm concerned. But like I say, I remain to await and hear of a study telling me I need more than 29 a day. Very, very reassuring. On the left-hand side, you can see 3 pouches, same color combination. And those are a soft chewable version, basically designed for younger children. They are essentially a bit like a wine gum, whereby the Juice Plus powders are infused into a combination of tapioca and corn syrup, making a chewable sweet. And there are plenty of children that enjoy that, and some of these kids get quite big because there are plenty of adults that enjoy them as well. On the right-hand side, we have a slightly different range of products. There's a brown pouch and a pale cream-coloured pouch. That is the Juice Plus Complete range, which was designed originally in consultation with elite athletes, and as a means of actually getting protein into the body for either before, pre, or post exercise. But it doesn't stop there. The versatility of this product is really quite extraordinary. I use it every day for my breakfast, as a base for my breakfast, in the form of a smoothie, whereby you can add all sorts of, the limit is your imagination in terms of what you can add. But it is a very effective way of delivering plant-based protein, not dairy, no whey, as I like to say, no whey protein is present, and is incredibly effective. I used to cycle a lot, and I still do occasionally, for post-exercise, it is a wonderful way of affecting recovery. But it also comes in other forms. In front, you can see two small bars there. There's a fruit bar and a chocolate bar. Fantastic for healthy snacking, for people sort of in a hurry, wanting to eat on the go. It is a very, very effective way of providing low glycemic energy. In other words, you don't get a sort of massive sugar hit and then come crashing down and are hungry again an hour later. This releases energy gradually, and that means that you stay hunger-free for longer. And that is obviously a slightly more sweetened version. On the savory side, where there is also a soup, which is the Juice Plus Complete Soup in the green sachet on the right. So that is the product, or the product range that the company has actually based its the business on. But as recently as last October, that product range was added to. And if we go to the next slide, we will see that the company. Next slide, please. Please, please.
Yep, sorry, it's stuck again.
I was going to say talk amongst yourselves, but that doesn't actually work on this. Oh, we nearly got it. There it is. We hold that screen. Yeah, we got it right. So now, last October, the company released a plant-based omega oil, and a few of us were lucky enough to start taking this earlier in the year. Now, a number of you may already take an omega supplement, principally omega-3, which is normally sourced from oily fish such as mackerel, salmon, and various others. Now, there's a number of issues with fish. First of all, there is one of sustainability. It's obviously wild fish is a resource that's under increasing pressure from overfishing to satisfy an increased population. And then there is also the contamination factor. We hear regularly of the possibility of mercury and heavy metals actually rising through the fish chain, the food chain, and actually becoming trapped in fish. But it doesn't stop at metal. Dioxins, a very nasty range of environmental pollutants, are something else that can be found in fish. And then nowadays, we are hearing more and more about the risk of microplastics working their way up the food chain. And fish is obviously something that is likely to be contaminated by that. So we bypass the fish and go to what the fish eat to obtain their omega-3, which is algae, which is obviously another form of plant. But rather than just have omega-3, the body doesn't produce certain omega fatty acids. So we need to actually, the company went and found plants that actually were able to add omegas 5, 6, 7, and 9 to ensure that there's a complete range of omegas all in one capsule. And the process by which the capsule is sealed is done in such a way that the oil is in no way is processed to an absolute minimum and isn't harmed in any way in the actual sealing process. So when I heard about this, I was very, very excited, and found, and my other half is who would happily give a testimonial if she was here, has found that her nails have never been stronger, they have never grown as fast, and she's found that her skin tone has improved, as has my own. And when I hear, as far as distributors are concerned, we as distributors, to have such an important new product added, and when I hear people as seasoned as some of the American distributors who've been in business for 25 to 30 years, saying that this product could be a game changer, then that tells you everything you need to know about how much potential this product has to building a Juice Plus business on its own, to say nothing of the products that we've had up till now. And if we go to the next slide, I think it was Paula that said a second ago, and in fact Michelle before that, is that we now have this extraordinary body of evidence in the form of no fewer than 38 scientific and clinical studies, really saying that Juice Plus does so much more than it says on the bottle, that it tackles and helps address oxidative stress, supports a stronger cardiovascular system, that it supports better quality skin, improved dentition. All these key health markers, Juice Plus supports, and there is the science to actually prove it. And in front of you there are a number of the key clinical publications that these studies have actually appeared in. So if we move on to the, and by the way, that set of studies hasn't stopped. We're looking to probably hit 40 studies by the end of the year. But another very unique study is the Children's Health Study, which was introduced around 15 years ago when the company took a position with regard to children's health. And this is something that those of you who are parents know obviously a great deal about, in so much that there are massive issues with regard to childhood obesity, poor school meals and bad diets generally. And the company realized they weren't able to actually cure these things, but they thought, what can they do to actually help people? And they decided, well, what we're going to do is actually give Juice Plus to children. And we have obviously the chewables, which I mentioned earlier. But for older kids, they can actually take the capsules as well, absolutely free. Yeah, I had to have a pause for breath when I first heard that. Absolutely free, nada, nothing to pay. What has to happen is that an adult, and it's 9 times out of 10 it's a parent, effectively sponsors a child for a period of 12 months. And every 4 months, simply complete an online questionnaire noting 1 or 2 observational behavioral changes. And some of those results are actually displayed here. We found, or the company has found, that that children became more aware of their own health in terms of what was good and what was bad. They were eating less fast food and drinking fewer soft drinks and substituting that with more fruit and vegetables and more water. As a result of this healthier lifestyle, healthier diet, they were visiting the doctors less and going to school more, so their productivity improved. And as a result of that, they were taking fewer in the way of over-the-counter drugs, which I should think anybody here, parents or otherwise, would obviously welcome. So again, when I first came across this, I don't have children of my own, but I thought, what a wonderful gift to be able to offer people. What they do with that gift is entirely, and the information is entirely up to them, but to be able to offer this for free to people, I thought was a very powerful thing and is absolutely unique in the marketplace in which we work. So let's move to the next slide. And some more real stories. Now, I'm very, very privileged to invite, to give a testimonial now, someone who I've got to know over the last 2 to 3 years. He is a father, he is a healthcare professional, a physical therapist, and last year took the very major decision to uproot himself and his family from West London and go and relocate all the way in Spain. So live from Spain, near Malaga. I think you flew back there today, Marcel. It's Marcel Salazar. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Howard. Thank you all so much for having me. Thank you very much for inviting me as well, Michelle. Really appreciate it. Yes, I actually arrived yesterday back here in Malaga. So back in the warmth. It's actually not been that great because it's been raining. But anyway, so yeah, I will share my story using these fantastic products. Basically, I was introduced to it actually by Howard, totally out of the blue. Howard was actually a client of mine when I was personal training, and I had never heard of this before. Being a health professional, I was very, very skeptical right from the beginning. Not a fan of capsules whatsoever, so definitely not something that I had any belief in or faith or fundamentally any understanding. And that was my problem. So Howard was very patient with me and basically gave me information that I was able to go away with, and that was it. And really for me, what I was looking for in this product was immunity. I was looking to strengthen my immunity because unfortunately I was victim of a cold maybe 2 or 3 times in a year. And I hate being ill. I find it a massive waste of time. And so I didn't enjoy it. So I wanted to find out if this worked. And I tried many other things. I've read and learned about many other sources of nutrition and supplementation. But I thought I'd give this a go based on the research that also very much connected with me. So I did. Now my wife, my wonderful wife, is a pharmacist, a trained and qualified pharmacist. And so that meant as soon as I acquired this product, I was told off. I was immediately told off for buying this because it was something that she obviously had ready access to in her pharmacy as a supplement, but not this supplement. So I did ask her to give her a moment and have a little look at the research and rationalize it for herself. And after reading it, we both started taking it, and we both had our own individual results, which were fantastic. The test was over the Christmas period. We always got together with family, and whenever we did, they would pass illnesses to us, and then we would get sick, and everyone would get sick. And the first year that we took it, we didn't get sick, but they did. In the second year that we took it, those members of the family that were on the product didn't get sick, and those that weren't did. And so every time it just reaffirms for me exactly how well it works. And I've just had proof again, because I'm regularly exposed both with my children because of the schooling, and anyone who's got kids, you know how often they come back with bugs, but also because I'm interacting with patients all the time. I'm also hands-on with people who may have been sick or are sick and don't realize. So I'm constantly fighting bugs. And literally just a week and a half ago, I was confident I was going to be very, very ill because I had the shakes, but I doubled up on my product, and it absolutely worked to treat. And it does that every single time. So I've been reconfirmed, shall we say, every single time. And it's just testament because both Ashra takes it, my wife, and our children take it as well in the gummy form as well as now all of my immediate family. So the word is spreading, and it's working.
Fantastic. Thank you, Marcel. Great to see you back in Spain, and look forward to seeing you when you're back here. Now, a number of you are probably thinking pretty similar to myself. Oh, quite I'm sorry, my Siamese cat has just gate crashed the party. Never work with children or animals. Now, if you, like I say, if any of you are similar to me, when I was sort of at the same stage of a meeting that I visited many years ago, I was thinking, well, yeah, this is really sort of quite exciting, but could I do it? And maybe the timing isn't right. Maybe I can find another company that's been around 50 years and has got had an amazing track record of introducing products to the marketplace and has got all this scientific evidence. Maybe I can find another company like that. But then I asked myself, and I ask anybody out there who's looking at this, can you afford to take that chance? I knew I couldn't. And therefore, I've decided to follow what this guy had to say. And he should know, because he's probably, certainly the UK's greatest entrepreneur, and probably one of the greatest entrepreneurs ever to sort of set out in business. And that's, of course, Sir Richard Branson. He said simply, if somebody offers you an amazing opportunity, but you're not sure you can do it, just say yes, and then learn how to do it later. And the beauty of this business is that there are a number of people who have a vested interest in your success. There is a multitude of knowledge ready for you if you want to actually take advantage of it. They're keen to help you and assist you, and their success is directly proportional to that of your own. So that was, again, very reassuring when I was sort of feeling my way in the early days. The immense support that was available, that support network that was available to me, and the knowledge that was actually gifted to me. One cannot put a price on that. So I would like to wrap up at that point. I hope you've enjoyed what we've had to say, and hand over to the other half of the Gordon and Michelle combination.
Actually, I'll step in there because I know we're running quite, we've run over a little bit. So thank you so much for that, Howard.
No problem at all.
You did a fantastic job at explaining, what we have to offer. And I'm just going to finish off now to thank everybody for your time and your attention. And just to say, ask yourself 3 questions. Have I seen enough today to get me excited to join right now? And if you have, please just go back to the person that invited you to join us today. Would you like a mentoring call to help you get started in the right direction? Because we've got 2 of the top leaders in the whole company, Gordon Wilkie and James Sanderson, that are a part of Team Aquila, that started Team Aquila. In fact, James has been in the business almost 30 years and Gordon 26 years. So there are no better mentors to get you set up and started in the right direction. And who do you know that would also be interested in joining you and joining your tribe? So think about that, go back to the person that invited you to join. And let me just say to you that if you're wondering whether you can do this, and you're not quite sure, as Howard said earlier, but let me just reassure you that you're invited to join this meeting tonight because somebody believes in you. Somebody, that person that invited you to the call, knows that you can do this business. So just take comfort in that they believe in you, and we can teach you how to do this business. So without any more taking up your time, it's my pleasure to thank you all very much for coming. Thank you so much to Howard. Thank you, Paula, for your fantastic testimonial on your business, and to Marcel on your product testimonial. Thank you, everybody, and good evening.